Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this ISV Inspirational Webinar. Hopefully, we will get some more people into the call, but I know there's a storm racing across Europe, so maybe that hinders some people. And we have three presentations today about ISV solutions. We have Pajero on the call, we've got Expand on the call, and we've got Pajero on the call. So each of them has prepared a presentation, and we will start with the presentation by Sergi from Expand. So Sergi, this is the moment where you can share a screen with everybody, and this meeting is recorded so that we can share the content of this webinar afterwards.
All right, thank you very much, Sven. Finally, I can unmute myself.
Yes, I know. To be quiet is very hard, I know.
Yeah. All right, hello, everyone. Let me try to share my screen so that we all are on the same page. All right, Sven, can you be my eyes right now and tell me if you see the screen?
It's building up.
Okay. It's probably takes some time because of the storm.
So I will tell you when it's visible, Sergi.
Sure. Meanwhile, when there is a pause, it's really a storm. Just a couple of minutes before the meeting, I read that here in Ukraine, the central highway was actually totally blocked, and police even does not allow anyone, even private cars, to get into the highway because of a lot of snow and all the trucks that are just standing in the middle of the road. So actually, it's really a storm.
Let me check because I can't see. Are there any people that can see the presentation already? It's okay if you reply via the IM window.
No.
No, it's still and once we have that, the screen is coming up. Yeah, I can see it, Sergi. So take it away.
All right, fantastic. All right, so let me start. First of all, my name is Sergi, as Sven already announced. I have an honor to present today a solution from Expand. This is a customer portal. Unlike two other presentations today, from what I know, we are going to present a web portal which is aimed to show NAV data outside of the NAV system itself, where customers could publish, for example, quotes or invoices to customers on the web, place orders on the portal and having them coming back to now automatically, or for example, project statuses could be also published via web so that customers do not need to call you via your phone or send you hundreds of emails. In logistics particular, you can publish your orders, shipping information, container statuses, track and trace information, any kind of data that is available in your NAV system and that could be interesting for your third-party users. So if we talk about industries, then it's actually any type of industry where you are of a need to present your data to the outside of the world, and where you don't want your third parties get into now. So, but if you really think about that, you can really go far with the solution. And for example, you can even think of building a help desk system, or for example, time and expand functionality. So I also want to talk about what challenges or pain points we are trying to solve with our solution so that it is more clear what it is aimed for. Security nowadays is probably a very hot topic, and that's what we are trying to tackle as well. You know, if you can easily ask me why should we use a web portal from Expand, and why can't we just use a web client from a standard now? One of the answers could be related to security, for example. You know, if you publish your data via web client and there is a smart guy sitting somewhere on another side of the world and hacks your system, then you may be in trouble, because not only get into the website, the hacker can get into your whole ERP, and definitely you don't want to share your financial data with someone there. With the portal, with our portal, we split data. So NAV data and portal data is something else. There is a communication in between, which sends data from NAV to the portal, and in that way we put a website under, we put NAV data under the log, so that even if there is a breach on a website side, then NAV data is still secured. Then performance. Performance is also a very important topic. You know, nowadays all the web users, they demand high speed. Everyone has a Facebook, a Twitter, and you know, if you go to Facebook and you just type something in a search string, then results are shown simultaneously. You don't need to wait. You don't get any progress bar, and that's what is the expectation of web users today. NAV has a limitation in that side because of the relational model that the SQL Server database is using. You know, if you want to search, if you want to make a full text search within a customer list inside now, that's going to be a difficult task to do in Nav, and it's definitely going to take a lot of time. You will simply not be able to create index for every single field. You of course have an option to go with a full text search functionality of a SQL Server, but that's kind of a pain as well. So with our solution, we are going to solve it. We use NoSQL document data store, which is relatively new nowadays, which allows us to have really fast access to data and really full text search available out of the box in our system. Also, everyone is talking about the lowering of costs and support of systems. Customers do not want to call for a partner just to add a field to the page. They would rather do it themselves and spend 5-10 minutes to do it. And that's what we allow to do as well. Our solution allows you to easily set up tables and fields on the NAV side that you want to send to portal. And then on the portal side, inside the friendly CMS, just normal content management system, you can just configure your pages based on the data that was received from now. In that way, budgets are definitely saved for customers, and that is very attractive. You know, on another hand, having a standard solution, we didn't want to put our users into some limits, and that's why we saw the flexibility. Because we are using a well-known ASP.NET and Braco CMS, it is still possible to create something that is not yet available on the portal. An absolutely new page could be created that would consume data coming from NAV. Important is to understand what is the ideal end user for the portal, and that I would definitely split into 3 categories. The first one is not about the cache, as you see on the slide, but it's about the vendor, customer, and partner user who simply needs access to your data, and you don't want to give access for them to NAV, or it is too expensive to give that access. It could also be used for an employee inside the organization who either doesn't have access to now or is restricted to have access to now, or maybe it's just too expensive to give a new license for your employee. It could also be used for externals to the organization, parties, for example, freelancers or freelancers who need access to some data that is available inside the now, but you don't really want to give a license for them for NAV. If we talk about the triggers that could bring customers to buy our portal, I would talk about the following. First of all, this is about the overloading of the administrational staff. A sales department gets hundreds of phone calls to receive an order, to send quotes. Accounting department needs to send out all the invoices via post, via email, whatsoever. This is all overloaded. When this happens, the company needs to think about the solution for that, and the solution is a portal. Some of our customers even use the possibility to earn with the portal. So they basically buy a portal and then they sell access to the portal for their customers as a service. So once you think about the possibility to earn, that could be an option. If the customer is having growing demanders of the NAV data, that's also an event to look into the portal. And of course, if we talk about the NAV license cost and increasing number of users, then extra license would cost a lot of money, and maybe your users just doesn't need all the functionality, then you may think about the web portal possibility from Expand. Now, when to walk away or when the solution from Expand could not be working for you. It is in the first place, but it's not the most important, is when the NAV version is lower than 2013, and with that I mean that .NET interoperability is not available yet. It still doesn't mean that our solution cannot work with NAV 5, for example. It could be working, but we just do not support it out of the box, and we would have to create some functionality, extra functionality for that version. When I talk about our customer portal, I talk not about the real-time access to data, so we are not using web services of NAV when the user of the portal needs some data. We don't do that. We talk about the near real-time access to data. So there is some buffer in time in between the data that comes into now becomes available in the portal. So when you need a real-time access to NAV data, that's not about this solution. We have received also some requests about hosting of the web portal on Linux, for example. We don't support that because we are using ASP.NET in the back. It is theoretically possible to do some tricky stuff on the Linux to make it work in there, but we just don't support it out of the box, and we haven't done that before. So we say no, you have to have Windows Server to have it running. Before I jump into an interesting talking about prices and amounts, I still want to talk about some features of the portal so that it becomes understandable what I talk about. So of course, a rich user interface, modern design, different types of pages, lists, cards, pop-ups, whatsoever, sorting, filtering, grouping of data on lists and other types of pages, saving views similar to what we have in standard now per user, export to Excel, configurable dashboards with graphs and queues. All that is supported out of the box. Nothing needs to be developed for that. I already mentioned that it is development-free solution. So if you need to export your data, you just go to now, you set up tables and fields you want to send to a portal. Then you go back to the portal backend, you go into CMS, and you configure pages that would present the data that you just sent from now. So for all that, you really don't need any development. It's just pure configuration. I haven't mentioned, but the portal is not only intended to be used or capable to be used for the Microsoft Dynamics NAV. Basically, you can connect any system and as many systems as you want and send data to the portal. Typical scenarios are the company has NAV installations in different countries, like, for example, in the Netherlands, in Belgium, in France, in Brazil. and they want to give their customers one single point of accessing data, and that's possible. Just connect all those instances to one portal, send this data, and it is available. So any system that can talk to web services can be connected to the portal. I already mentioned about the NoSQL document data store. That's what we used in the back. It's not SQL Server or any relational database. It is Lucena indexes that we use, which allows us to have a schema-free data structure. What I mean by schema-free data structure is if there are technical people out here, you know, when you make changes to the table and the users are working with the system at the same time, then users will be kicked out if they are accessing the table at the moment when you compile that table. You don't have that with our solution. It is all done in the back. Fields could be added on the fly, deleted. It doesn't have influence on users, on front-end users, which gives you less error solution. Again, because of the technology that we use in the back, we can guarantee the really blazing fast full text search. To give you a small example, we did a small test recently, 2 million records on one list with around 10 to 15 columns, different type of fields with one or multiple words inside it, and we did a search. And it takes less than a second to present the results of the search. Of course, I talked about security, and you could probably hear me be a little bit freaky about security. We use certificate-based communication in between, so all the data that is being transferred between two systems is definitely secured. And of course, multi-language support, so if you have customers outside your local country, you can easily translate the solution and present user interface in the language which is easy to understand by the user. Now, how we do the licenses?
This is your 5-minute warning.
Yes, yes, yeah? I'm very close.
Cool.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the licensing model and how we see it. We basically have three prices. We say that for 1 to 25 users of the portal, it is 7,500 euros per installation. So it's not per user, but per the batch of 25 users. Between 26 and 50, it's 10,000, and more than 50 until unlimited, that's 15K. Out of this, 40% it's a partner margin, and we charge enhancement plan of 16%, 22% of which are for the partner. I also did a quick and small calculations here. I assumed 80 hours of implementation needed to install the portal. I put here pricing, an average pricing from us if you need help from us, and from the partner to just an average in Europe. And then below in this table, I try to assume what could be an average, more or less realistic number of deals that a normal partner could sell. And then on the left side, you can see what could be the revenue during the 5-year period for partners. So if I'm more or less realistic, and if we look in 5 years, then it could be around 500K euros for the revenue for the partner, out of which around half of it would be a margin for the partner. Definitely, we can talk about the partner and customer that we have. Here you can see a reference quote from our partner, Logicstar. Today Logicstar is selling our portal as part of their solution, and if you can read, they are rather happy with what they have. So that could be a very interesting idea for other ISVs who have their own add-on in, for example, other different area, I don't know, pharmacy, and you want to extend your offering with a portal, maybe consider our portal as an option. We like that idea because then we can cooperate in a strategical model and can concentrate on quality. Below, here on the screen, you can also see a reference quote from one of our customers, they use our portal. This is actually Ontario. It's actually an IT company. They do IT services, and they use our portal to present project-related data, send invoices, quotes on the portal to their customers. We are having a very good cooperation together, and they seem to be happy as well. At least they gave us a good quote here. If I did my job well and you are interested and you still want to see in action how it looks like, then I suggest that you get in contact with us. We give you a quick demo, you ask questions, after which you can get access to our demo environment and you can play yourself. If you are satisfied and you like the solution, then we suggest that you make a decision and we sign a partner agreement. We give you all the marketing materials, all the documentation, any kind of support we can provide you, and then you may sell. And again, we help our partners as much as we can, especially during the first periods. All the pre-sale support we can give, we provide. So if you want to learn more, please visit our website or go to our Facebook page. Get into contact with us. We are rather responsible. And yeah, I wish you the best evening today and a very pleasant end of the working week. Sven?
Yes, thank you so much, Sergi.
Thank you very much as well.
Any of the attendees, any questions at this point in time for Sergi? And of course, it's always possible to do that afterwards. We will also share the recording through our channels. All right, then I'm gonna give control to Dimitri. Dimitri, this is your point in time where you can share your presentation.
Thank you, Sven.
No worries. And I will let Dimitri do his introduction.
All right, so I'm just going to share my screen with the PowerPoint presentation. Let me know when you see it.
Yeah, we can see it, Dimitri. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So I would like to start with saying that I will be the voice of Mark Stewart Peterson today, as he is at Mauritius with bad weather and unstable connection. So I'm taking over this presentation today and like to upfront apologize if some things are a little bit unclear, because I just got the call, this task last minute. Anyhow, Navipartner is a 360-degree solution for retail and entertainment business, where our products are based on the vision system. We have developed our own software, which makes us a ISV partner and a software supplier, and we rely on three business units: the NP Retail, which is the POS solution, NP E-commerce, which is e-commerce solution, web shop, B2C and B2B, and finally entertainment business, where we have developed several modules, add-ons for Navision, from where you can control ticket, membership management, etc. All the things you need at a amusement park, for instance. Straight to our partner benefits. If you have customers, end customers, and you come to us with between 1 to 49 client users, now users, then you get 20% discount on the standard list price, the 89 euro per user. This is a subscription-based model, and it's like a staircase where it's, as long as you get more customers, more client users, you get more discount. This can be like, if you look at the bronze level, if you have from 1 to 49, it means you can have anywhere between 1 and 49 different customers, or just one big customer. But the goal is to achieve more than 250 users from different customers, and then you get the 30% discount on the subscription price. The 89 euro, let's see if the next slide is a little bit more. Yeah. So the 89 euro is for a Navision user, and includes hosting, our NP Retail module, POS solution, access for one external user, for example an accountant, for free, and a free update of our software and application. Then if you look at the next column with the price of €465, that is for the web shop, web store, for one user. This is a monthly price which you pay as long as the customer is using the web store. It also holds a Navision user, the hosting fee, the web store itself, of course, and the hosting of the web store, and a update of the application. And on the €89 and on the €465, you get these discounts depending on your level, bronze, silver, or gold. Then what else do you get benefit by becoming a Navi Partner member? You get a free program membership. That means you don't have to, there is no starting costs anyway. As long as you approach us with a project, we are willing to help you from the start without any costs. Of course, we need to know the size, the project, the customer, etc., but there is no fee to enter this partnership. Managed account is that we will dedicate one person, which the partner can call or contact at any time, meaning that this dedicated Navi Partner person, account manager perhaps, or a Now expert, will know the business of the partner very well. We will do our best to support the partner with anything from the conversion of a potential customer to technical queries, and of course support 24/7. We also offer free introduction and training for the partner of our products, which usually is on an hourly basis for end customers. We provide marketing resources such as web content, brochures, data sheets, white papers, work papers, etc., etc. All that we have, we provide without any fees. Then we also offer on-site product training at a really good price. If you're on the other side of the world, of course, we'll have to talk about the traveling costs, etc., etc. But otherwise, it's we're very interested in acquiring as many partners around the world as possible with sustainable projects. And finally, low consulting fees. That is most of the benefits. Then next to the next slide, a little bit about our POS solution called NP Retail. It is developed through more than 15 years. It's an all-in-one solution out of the box. You get, if you purchase the subscription license, you get the NAV license and you get the NP Retail solution license all in one, where you can control your inventory, your stock management, and bookkeeping. It's all built in. And since it's integrated with Microsoft Dynamics Now, you can switch from the POS to Now very easily. It's a user-friendly layout. It's device independent, so anyone who hasn't seen, if in the retail business people still are using like the old registers, then even those people are able to learn the functionality of our system. And if they have a small shop, they don't have room for a big counter, they can put our solution on a tablet, on an iPad, and keep it mobile and simple and easy. And the solution, the POS solution, supports almost any payment solution globally. It can also be activated on Apple's products because it's an app. The NP e-commerce or the web store is part of the omnichannel, the trend, the ongoing trend for digitalization of a physical store, where you get a digital window of your store online and can sell the same products online as you do in the shop, or you can differentiate what kind of products you sell online versus the shop, the physical shop. The web store is built on the open source code Magento, which is also integrated into Now, and it's like having a second or third shop where you can see you have real-time access to your inventory. All the sales, incoming sales orders are goes into Now NAV and handled from there. The item creation is handled from NAV and goes to the web with just one click. All in all, it saves time if you have integrated the web store, if the customers have integrated the web store into NAV or into the ERP solution, thus working from only one system. As I mentioned before, the web store is available in a B2C module, or on top of that, a B2B module, where you can have different prices on different customers. So just to sum up a little, some of our references, quote from a partner: really happy with Navi partner expertise and the fact that we share our expertise at almost no cost. We can strengthen the business of our partners in order to supply the right solution to the right end customer. And since it's a cloud solution, the new customers can install it. They don't have to install it locally. They can have it anywhere at any time. And one end customer thinks that knows that NAV is a complicated system, but it's an out-of-the-box system as well. So we can help our partners to make the end customers understand that there's something technically complicated doesn't have to be scary. It's easy to work with, and as long as you are open-minded and can receive just a little bit of education in the system, you will be able to start working with it right away. And finally, a little bit more sales-minded is that if you follow the link, you can get the demo of the entire solution for free for 30 days and try it out yourself. As a partner, we can offer this link to be directed straight to your website, where the end customers, when they pick it up, they will get demo with a mail containing the partner's logo, and if they want the language to be translated, we can do it as well. For better use of the demo, we suggest that you contact us while you're in the demo environment, and we can guide you through some of the processes to make it more easy to understand. I think that was all from me. So thank you for listening in, and have a nice afternoon.
Thank you so much, Dimitri. During the presentation, some extra people joined, so that's always good. Any questions for Dimitri from the audience at this point of time? Nope. All right, then I'll ask Claudine from Pajero to take center stage. And if everything worked out correctly, you can now share your screen with us, Claudine. And even speak to us. And even speak to us. Let's try that again. We can see your slides, Claudine.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, welcome.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Sorry for the technical
difficulties. Yes.
Yeah. But you're more than welcome.
Thank you. Well, I'm conscious of time, so I'll make sure that our presentation is as concise as possible. Thank you and hello to everybody. My name's Claudine Kidd. I'm the UK Partner Manager for Pagero. I also have on the call with me our UK MD, Oscar Wegland. What we're going to do the next 10 to 15 minutes is just give you a really high-level overview of our company and solution for the Microsoft Dynamics stack and how you can engage with us for any future opportunities. So at this stage, I'll hand over to Oscar, who will just give you a quick overview of who we are and what we do. Oh, Oscar, are you there?
Let's see if I have to unmute Oscar. Oscar, you should be able to talk to us now.
There we go. Hope that works.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Great. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Oscar Wegland, MD for Pagero UK. Just before Claudine starts, to give you a bit of background who we are, Swedish company, now active and present in 16 countries, mostly in Europe, also US and UAE. We provide a cloud-based platform called Pagero Online for companies of all different sizes, really. So from local bakeries to large global organizations to send and receive business documents electronically. And so by business documents, that's within order to cash, purchase to pay. So purchase orders, order responses, invoices, credit notes, etc. And what we do is we integrate in a number of different ways to different ERP systems so that a supplier and a buyer can communicate automatically and digitally when sending and receiving these documents. So as an example, e-invoicing for Microsoft, we enable accounts receivable staff to send invoices electronically straight out of Dynamics without any paper handling, emails, etc. And this platform is currently used by, we have around 25,000 customers around the world. And although we don't have a specific industry focus, we say that we're really industry agnostic. We do, I guess, customize our packages and offering to different for different industries. So for the UK specifically, we have healthcare as one of our focuses. There's an NHS mandate for suppliers to start sending and receiving orders and invoices electronically, which is something we obviously specialize in locally.
Brilliant. Thank you, Oscar. Sven, can everybody hear me again?
Yeah, we can hear you, Claudine. Go ahead.
Brilliant. I'm just going to go over and just give an example on what the partners can actually make from a revenue and also margin perspective. The Pagero for NAV extension is actually sold in kind of two elements. You have the first element, which is the actual extension. We sell that as a monthly subscription license, but billed on an annual basis. So the example that you guys can see here is for a business entity that's taken up our professional package. So they would receive the e-invoice, PDF via email, print, and also e-archive and e-signature. The license revenue for 1 year for that, as you can see, is €3,500, of which the partner will make 30% margin in the first year. The extension, is actually applicable for all outbound invoices. For end users that actually require inbound invoices via the Pagero platform, you would then actually have to involve Pagero from a professional services aspect. We typically implement these types of projects between 30 and 60 hours, which will then give you an additional implementation revenue of €3,750, where the partners will be making 20% margin from that. And then you can see on a cumulative basis, if you were to add one customer in year one and then 2 customers for the following 5 years, you can easily kind of add to the business an additional 150,000 plus EU. And so I hope that was kind of pretty clear in terms of how we sell the extension for the outbound e-invoicing, and then we do a kind of professional services for the inbound. So in terms of what our solution provides the end users, in our experience, we've typically always provided our end-to-end solution directly. For the Microsoft and the Vision industry, we're actually changing that model and providing exclusivity to the Dynamics partners. In our experience, we're actually finding that you will be seeing requirements coming in from these clients that will be asking how they can actually be fulfilling the e-network requirements from their other suppliers and providers. As Oscar mentioned, there will also be requests coming in from particularly the health sector in the UK, asking how they can become compliant for the new PEPAL infrastructure standard. And for the traditional typical tier 1 and tier 2 industries, they're still seeking ways to actually reduce back office operations across the AP and AR business processes. So Pagero basically offer, again, a NAV extension for all NAV users for the outbound e-invoicing, and where they actually want the full end-to-end solution for inbound, Pagero offer a traditional EDI connection via our professional services. The results, as you guys will probably be aware of, streamlining the AP and AR business processes will bring significant operational costs, particularly to organisations that have high volumes of invoices. In addition, for a value add, you can also then get access to the more granular detail that marketing, procurement, sales and a management team can then use to actually provide better business decisions. And finally, we can actually guarantee that using our platform, you can achieve and maintain local and regional compliance. So in terms of an ideal end user, Pagero recommends that we can actually have a solution for any organisation that do B2B or B2G transactions over 250 invoices a month. Compelling events, again, for the UK, particularly in the healthcare, will be the PEPAL compliance and also the customer demand that will be driven from the bigger NHS providers to the smaller medical and health providers in that industry. And again, for the tier 1 and tier 2 organisations, any significant cost-cutting exercises, particularly around the back office processes, again, will be something where we'd be able to assist. In terms of when to walk away, small organisations, so the micro organisations where they're probably transacting less than 50 invoices a month, we wouldn't recommend using the NAV extension or any of our ad hoc consultancy. Instead, we would actually probably push them to our free online portal, which will be more than able to kind of manage that on a manual basis for them. And in terms of the NAV extension itself, it's available from versions 2016 onwards. So in terms of our presence in the Microsoft Dynamics community, we are new to the UK. I think it's been about 2 years since the UK strategy has really kind of been up and running. But that's not to say that we're not present in other areas. Our headquarters in Sweden actually has a relationship with CGI, who have obviously a big presence across the Microsoft Dynamics NAV and AX products. They also have a relationship with Orange, which is actually the largest AX and NAV partner in the Nordics. Spain also work with Itana, who have a similar kind of presence, but for the Spanish region. And in the UK, we recently agreed a partnership with Azure IT, where we're working with some of their medical clients to address the PEPAL compliant issue, and also IXRM, which you know is actually also part of the QBS community, who provide referrals for their tier 1 clients that also have challenges in these areas. So in terms of a reference quote, we thought we'd provide you a really compelling statement from the head of operations, Phil Anderson. Aquilent are a specialist healthcare provider based here in the UK and have absolutely been affected by the PEPL mandate that's actively being adopted by the 6 NHS Trust Pathfinders and is expected to be rolled out throughout the whole of the NHS in due course. Aquilent are very complementary of the Pagero services, in addition to our actual knowledge and solution helping them achieve compliance in record time. They also really benefit from our compliance and legislation knowledge, not here just in the UK, but across Europe for the other emerging markets which they're trying to penetrate. So this slide is just really a kind of overview of all of the key features and functions that the Pagero for NAV extension and our inbound solution can provide. I don't want to take up too much time, but there is a kind of list of our USPs that differentiate us from other access point providers that do provide slimmer services. So we're very proud of our many-to-many architecture. So although we do have obviously a specific solution for the Microsoft Dynamics stack, our solution is ERP agnostic, which is very important when looking at the overall requirement for the clients that are actually hoping to send and receive electronic orders to their endpoints, which could be using any ERP system. We do have a self-service platform via the Pagero online portal, and it is multi-tenanted. And we also extend that it is a solution that is applicable and available to be purchased by any size organization. So before closing off, I just wanted to give you a quick view of what the actual Pagero for Dynamics NAV add-on looks like. Here there's some snapshots with the Dynamics NAV 2017 version. The top left view will probably be very familiar. We have the role center. What we've done is just circled out the Pagero online dashboard that would be present from the end user's perspective in NAV. The snapshot on the top right-hand side is actually showing a view of the customer card. Once the extension has actually been installed into the NAV system, the end user will simply need to actually select Pagero as the document sending profile, and then they'll actually be ready to start sending all of their order documents electronically. And finally, the snapshot below is a view of the posted sales invoice, where the NAV end user can clearly kind of identify and see the statuses of all documents that's been sent via NAV to the Pagero online platform. So in terms of next steps and engagement with Pagero, we would recommend that you invite us to actually see a really in-depth demonstration of the Pagero for NAV add-on and extension. We would then need to review the Microsoft Dynamics distribution agreement and agree terms before then providing the partner with end user onboarding training and then agreeing an actual collaborative sales engagement process. And for more information, we recommend that your first point of call should be the QBS Marketplace, where you can see an overview of all of the services that Pagero provides and access to our website. I hope I haven't gone over time there, Sven.
No, that's perfect. It's impressed with the speed and the clarity of the solution and the presentation. So what we will do also is put these videos on the marketplace, so for people to watch. Any questions from the audience for Claudine? I know it's been a very shy audience so far, but you never know. All right, then I'm going to close off this webinar. We will look into why there was a different links out there, but hopefully that was solved in the end. And we will also share the recordings with everybody that has registered for this webinar. So thank you all, and good luck with surviving this storm. Thanks, everyone.